Hi, and welcome back to Phone Photography Pro, where I cover tips, tricks, and how-tos, plus travel adventures with my phone. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial slash how-to on shooting in the rain. So, as a Pacific Northwest native, that's pretty much our main weather category for at least half of the year. So, as a photographer, I really never had a choice about shooting in the rain, but I know that for some people it can be really challenging. It's kind of dreary, it doesn't feel inspiring, there's not that dramatic lighting. So, with this video, I'm going to give you several tips, including your gear, all the way to what to look for out in this type of weather. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so first things first, you're gonna wanna waterproof your gear unless you have a water resistant phone. So this is the Pixel and it's already water resistant, so I don't worry as much about waterproofing this. I'm shooting on my iPhone 7 Plus and that's also water resistant, so I don't have to worry as much about that. But if I'm going to be on the water, as in like kayaking or boating, I'll definitely do a couple of the tips that I'm gonna show you in just a second. Otherwise, for simple rain, like not torrential downpour, but just those kind of showers we get here all the time, I don't worry as much about waterproofing the water resistant phone. So check to see if your phone is water resistant. If it is, then you might only use these next couple of hacks just when you're in the water or in like really rainy situations. If it is not, you'll definitely going to want to use these just to protect your device. So let's jump into those couple of little hacks.
Okay, so here's just a quick way to waterproof your phone. Do not use the sandwich bags because they actually rip super easily and are not waterproof. You can use the quart or the gallon Ziplocs. And most of the time, because my phone's water resistant, I'll just throw it in here and take it with me and then grab it out when I'm ready to photograph. But you can also cut holes and create kind of like a little waterproof bag. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to do that.
Normal days, you're not going to need to do that whole waterproof case with a Ziploc bag. You're just going to want a really good waterproof jacket. And I know they're not always the cutest because I tend to try and find one that has the biggest pockets so that I can keep all my gear like ready to go next to me. But you're going to want a really good waterproof jacket just so that you can store your stuff in there, not have to worry about it between shoots. For any type of weather that you might encounter, and hopefully you have that waterproof jacket of some kind so that you can store your gear in those pockets. And now we are going to talk a little bit about gloves. Photographers don't have the option of keeping their hands in their pockets all cozy. They have to have them out while you're shooting, that kind of thing. So gloves are really important, especially in this type of weather, but I always want my gloves to be minimal, non-bulky, thin, so that it doesn't feel like I have this heavy glove on. It's hard to maneuver, especially with your phone, with like heavy, thick gloves. So those are some things I look for. Minimal and non-bulky is kind of my slogan here, just because that's why I'm doing this. Like, I want to make sure that I can travel as minimally as possible and still take like amazing photographs. So let's look at my gloves and what they offer or don't offer, and hopefully you can grab a pair for yourself.
All right, so glove up. These are the current gloves that I have. Dog hair, it's from Twyla. They have a really great grip, which is important to me. And then they're Sensitech. So this is the tech tips here that I'm talking about. You can find ones that have them on all of the fingertips, which is something I'm looking into. But for now, these work just fine with these two. They're also super lightweight and kind of stretchy. So it doesn't feel like I'm wearing a really heavy glove, which I do like. The only thing that I would say they don't offer is they're water resistant, but they're not waterproof. So if you're out for like a 4 or 5 hour hike and it's really raining, they are going to get wet. So that's unfortunate, but a couple hours in the rain and they'll be totally fine, and they work great with my phone. So make sure you glove up. Have to care for your lenses. When you're shooting out in the rain, you are going to get raindrops on your lens. It doesn't matter what you do about it, but I'm going to show you just a couple of things that I do to make sure that my lens doesn't have those raindrops, because that can create blur, totally ruin your photograph. The one thing that you don't want to do is, a lot of people think, like, you know, when you fog something, you're like, you grab your phone, you're like, and then you like wipe it off. You don't want to do that in the rain, because there's like so much moisture in the air. You're going to end up with a super foggy lens that doesn't unfog forever. So don't do that. Do the couple of tips I'm going to show you here in just a second instead, to make sure that your lens stays wiped off. Okay, so keeping your lens from getting those raindrops on them. Remember, no fogging it up. I always just grab a little pack of these microfiber cloths. I'll link in the description below. But you want to make sure to just use those. You can also use the edge of your shirt, only if it's something like a wicking fabric that isn't going to ruin your lenses, whether that's the Moment lens or your own little lens on your phone. Just use a microfiber cloth. Again, it's light, packable, easy to have. That way you're not ruining your lens with like a merino wool shirt or something. Another thing to do if you have the Moment lenses is pick up their pen. And I know it might seem like, I thought, oh, this is kind of ridiculous. I don't know if I'm going to use it. It has a little brush, so that's been amazing for when I shoot at sandy places. And then it also has like this little end here that you just screw off, and it will clean. You can see it right there. It's like a little felt tip, and you can just use it to clean the insides of your lenses, which is amazing. And it also perfectly cleans like your little phone lenses as well. So you could bring this with you just as much as you could a microfiber. I kind of like to keep this safe and, you know, in my pack for the end of the day, kind of cleaning up my gear. And then I bring something like this with me to shoot. Okay, so next up are things to look for in the rain. When you're shooting in the rain or dreary overcast weather, you're not going to have those views. So just get that out of your head right now. You aren't going to have the spectacular views most of the time because it's cloudy and they're going to be covered. You're also not going to have that gorgeous golden light. You can fake it a little bit with white balance, but you're not going to like have that readily available. So you have to start looking for other things in your work. I love shooting textures. I love shooting macro on my Moment lens. I love little water droplets up close. I've really loved video lately in the rain. I think that it can be really fun. I like portraits of all things, like that wet hair kind of look. It ends up looking really moody if you can find fog and that sort of thing. So next up is a whole bunch of examples of things to look for and shoot in the rain.
all-time favorite thing to shoot in the rain is reflections. And I could have included this in like the previous little blurb about what to look for, but I think that it's so important and such a good opportunity that it deserves a little extra mention. When it rains, there's pools of water. Duh, obviously. It's raining, you're gonna get puddles, that kind of thing. And bodies of water also tend to be larger during this season, so you can get gorgeous reflections of landscapes, that kind of thing. So make sure you're looking at those bodies of water, even if it's like a puddle on the street or something, you can get super cool reflections. I love playing with reflections and my Superfish Moment lens. I think that can be really fun. Also, pay attention to time of day. Like getting up early means the water is going to be still and you're going to have a better chance of capturing that reflection. So here's some examples of reflection images that I took in dreary, rainy, sometimes snowy-ish weather. Okay, that's it, guys. Make sure you protect your devices, gear up, get those gloves on, and get outside. Don't be afraid of shooting in this dreary weather. A lot of times you'll have trails all to yourself, which can be really awesome and of course make better images. Make sure you give this a thumbs up if you liked it. You can also click to subscribe. You can head on over to my blog at phonephotographypro.com, linked in the description below, if you would like more information on my phone tips, tricks, and travel. Bye!